Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the qualifying for the Papa World Championships. We are here watching some action of the A Division tonight. We're just giving you some, I call this bonus coverage, and this is, there's nothing on the line tonight. You know, people are just trying to build some solid scores and get a leg up on the competition tonight. But we might see some great pinball play. I'm here with Teresa and Greg and Doug. And we're going to be watching, I don't know what we're going to be watching, pinball, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to be watching some pinball. What do we have here? What do we want to watch? What's a game we don't see very often?
A lot of these.
How about Future Spa?
Oh, Future Spa's
Spa.
Great.
It's a spa from the future.
Let's see. What do we have?
Future Spa was a Bally machine made in, I believe, 1980, if I remember right.
That early?
Yeah, it was very early. It was one of the later ones of their super wide body series,
Right.
which there's Paragon and
Embryon.
Hot Dog. Yeah, Embryon.
And we have Evan Bingham playing right now.
Ah, cool. The pinball narcissist.
Yeah, Evan's from Ohio, and he played very well in the circuit final yesterday. He almost made the final ladder. He was in a tie break to make it to the final ladder with Levy.
Ah.
That was a beautiful little tip.
And so let me see here, Future Spa. On Future Spa, you want to spell Future Spa. Those letters are your bonus on this game. And then the inline drop targets are your bonus X. And the first one also lights your spinners. And that's pretty much Future Spa. But it also has this really wacky playfield. You've got that Beast Lair style gap from Paragon over on the right underneath the pop bumpers, and you have 2 out lanes and 2 in lanes.
Yeah, the left side has 4 lanes over there. Sometimes it's 3 in lanes,
right,
and sometimes it's 2 in lanes.
And you can make it 3 by those upper arrows up in the upper playfield.
That's right, the T and the U. If you get one of those, then the second one from the right, there's a gate there that will open up, and then you have two. It goes in lane, out lane, in lane, as opposed to in lane, out lane, in lane.
Oh, you just confused me.
So where do you score all of the words? There's Future up at the top. Where is Spa spelled from?
I think that's, I know that you spot a letter in Spa from the right kickback area, I think.
Also the center target.
And the center target, that's
which
right.
is the shot you don't want to shoot for.
That's right. You'd much rather get it off of the left.
It's like the Future Spa trap.
Actually, I don't think the right just spots a letter that you need in Future or Spa, right? It's not necessarily just Spa letters.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then, do the drop targets spot a letter too? The inlines?
Quite often they do, but there's actually I don't know what exactly the factor is, but sometimes it'll be lit for spotting a letter, sometimes it will not.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Now, this particular machine is actually set up, I would actually say, easier than some of the other Papa A Division machines, because some of them are just set up brutally hard. Oh, I'd actually like to take a second to talk about how hard they are. I've actually set some new records today.
How many
What
games?
happened?
How many games with lightning flippers are there in A Division?
At least 3. Right?
Kiss, Batman.
Does Metallica have?
Metallica, I thought.
No, Metallica's regular flippers.
really?
Is Ripley's.
Ripley's is the third one.
Thanks, Doug. So, yeah, they've changed the flippers. And lightning flippers, for those who don't know, are 1/8 of an inch shorter than a regular flipper, which you say, oh, that's nothing. That makes a big difference when you're trying to save the ball in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, you know, two flippers each with 1/8 of an inch off makes that center gap way bigger than you would think. And especially if you're used to playing with normal size flippers, you'll be going for saves that you're not going to make because the ball's not there.
They also will make the shots be in different places than you're used
Yep.
to. But you do get a little bit more power off the tips of the flippers than you might ordinarily get.
Just because it's a stronger coil than the lightning flipper would normally have, right?
Exactly.
Ah, interesting.
So sometimes you can actually make shots that you wouldn't normally be able to in the same way.
Yeah, the lightning flippers are interesting because a lot of games like Fishtails and Dracula shipped with them on, and when people put normal flippers on those games, it drives me crazy. I can't play them. The shots are all weird and in different places and stuff like that.
Oh,
That was a great shade.
Yeah, Derek Bugate is, he's known as a strong classics player. He's from Kentucky.
And he's now got 6x bonus, and he's already spelled Future Spa once, so he's in really good position to open this thing up.
Now, once you drop all the drops and you've gotten your 6x, is there any reason to keep shooting up into that little boat area?
Not
Well,
that
there's
I'm
actually an extra.
Oh my God! Look at that gap save! Wow.
He just nudged and gave that
was
little shimmy.
crazy.
That was
yep.
awesome.
I think it's lit for 20,000, but I don't think there's any real reason to shoot up there again once you've completed the inline.
Oh, that was nice too.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna save it.
Wow, that was really
love.
pretty. Yeah,
That was love.
Yep.
One of the things about this game in particular, you really have to be on top of your nudging.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if you can tap pass, that's a huge asset in this game too.
Well, and actually, I found that the tap pass on this particular Future Spa was quite nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice
I
job.
couldn't do it.
Really?
I can't do it. Yeah. So I'm actually if I'm in the situation Derek's in right there, I would actually do a mini post pass and then backhand the targets if I needed them.
Right.
So I'm compensating in a different way.
How is the return off of a backhand to those shots though?
Just as dangerous.
All right.
Just as bad as every shot on Future Spa.
Yeah.
Now the good thing about this is he spelled Future Spa twice or once already, and that bonus carries over from ball to ball, so he's going to have that in the tank.
And he also gets to keep Tuss.
That's right, exactly. All of your bonus carries over ball to ball here.
Future Spa Tuss.
To compare, he's on ball 2 now, I think, and he's already scored more than Evan did in his entire game last game.
So it's really important to get all your letters.
It's important to get all your letters. It's important to maximize your bonus sets.
It's important to beat Evan.
Or he'll turn you into a meme.
That's true. He's turned me into many different memes.
Yeah. He keeps.
Oh, nice.
That was a convenient little angle, but he keeps missing those inlines.
I actually thought that the inlines were on a slightly awkward part on the flipper.
Oh, yeah?
As opposed to where you would normally find it. But other than that, I do think it is playing very nicely.
I'm playing in B like a wimp, so I wouldn't know. Not that the games in B are playing any easier.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean,
that Sopranos with the auto plunge and the lightning flippers in it is a disaster.
that was a great nudge. He made it go over to the left by giving a little action.
There we go. So, I mean, he's getting 32,000 every time he hits one of those inlines, which is huge value on this game.
Absolutely.
But he actually goes for
He's going for more letters. And those lit spinners, of course.
At a certain point, though, he's approaching the maximum value
for letters,
for letters, and actually it can get smaller.
Oh, does
here.
it take one of those? How does that work?
Okay, so
he almost bounced that over.
So right now he has the 36,000,
Right.
which is 2 spellings of Future Spa.
Correct.
And he also has U and R.
Right.
Now he could get up to 8 total letters out of the 9, and that would be the max bonus he could have for Future Spa.
Now, what if he spells Future Spa again?
Then it goes back just to 36.
Now,
of course, he gets some points for doing
right,
it, but
of course.
But there's a little danger there.
Right. So you're.
Oh, look at that
was
backhand.
Gorgeous.
That was
great. Yep.
Boom.
Now, if it did go back down with the bonus X when he gets the points, that's not bonus to X, right?
And like just happened here.
Just
you
happened.
just saw it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so if he drains now, he does not get those extra 8 letters of bonus.
Right. But you know what? He's still going to have a great bonus no matter what he does.
Absolutely.
See if he can get the 6 times.
So it's 4K per letter in bonus? 9 letters, 36.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right.
Times 6 now.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
that's good.
Oh my God. If he would have
he
saved that, that would have been Hall of Fame territory.
But he didn't want to tilt it.
Yep. No, of course not.
You could see he was throwing his arms up.
Yep,
He's like,
yep.
oh, I've got to stop doing this.
Oh, yeah. He's sitting there with 150K over on the 180. You know.
He's sitting there. He's like, I'm spinning this thing. I'm playing a little Russian roulette here. I don't want to get the bullet.
No, that was a great score.
Yeah, and that score actually is enough to put him up around 3rd place.
Nice, nice. Excellent game by Derek.
As I said, we're only going to see great games tonight.
Good thing you're not showing me play right now.
Well, that would make it hard. We have the disembodied voice of Teresa in this booth, and she's actually playing right now.
Who is this playing Future Spa right now? I don't recognize this gentleman.
This is El Presidente, Greg DeFeo.
Oh, okay.
Greg is a local Pittsburgh player.
Okay.
But he's also one of the finest classics pinball players in the world.
Oh, excellent.
I truly believe it. Now, hopefully he shows us why.
See, I would have liked to see the rolling tap there, personally, but...
Now he's going to try and post pass.
Just like
back.
that.
Is that the little tip you were talking about?
That's that backhand. That was it right there. Oh, not getting that back.
That's the thing. You can be a great classics player, but sometimes these games will just eat you alive.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and sometimes, too, if you've been playing any of the other games and you've been playing a faster game, stepping up to something that requires a little slower finesse can really throw you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know I tend to play in groups of 3. Like, I'll go to a game and play it 3 times, try and get a feel for it. But I've also found that when I play it more than that, there's like a peak and valley thing going on, so.
Sure. I'm trying to figure out what happened in that final ball.
I think he just said screw it. It looked like he just plunged it and walked away.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
And now we have Raymond Davidson from Seattle up on the game. Excellent young player, 5th ranked in the world right now, I think.
I had to face him in round 1 of the circuit final.
And how did that go for you?
I crushed him.
Nice.
I just got lucky. Raymond's a very talented player.
What happened in classics today, John?
I didn't get lucky.
Who did?
It's a good question. I don't exactly know the answer to that.
Still playing.
They're still playing. Oh, what a nice little tip there. That was great. I mean, I suppose there does come a point on a game like this. You're on ball 3. You've got 10,000. It's like the amount you can realistically expect to be able to score in one ball on Future Spa is kind of limited.
I really disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely want to. Oh, come on, say it. Yes,
oh,
there it
nice.
is.
Nice.
Welcome to the A division, folks. That ball should not go down there.
But I mean, UMax bonus, you get 310. You get what, like 210, something like that. Net with you get the third. Well, it's 210 for the 36 plus the 6x, and then the 8 letters is another 32. So like 230, 240, something like that.
Sounds great.
I'm not Bowen. I can't do it.
Yeah,
that
I was
fast,
going to say, like, you're announcing with John, not Bowen.
But I mean, once you've done that, you're crank spinners, and you're kind of in jail a little bit.
I guess. I mean, I'd still want to get more play time on the machine just to get the feel down.
Absolutely.
You already paid your money for the ticket. You might as well take a shot.
I would never in a million years walk away from a ball like that. But your expectations once you get to ball 3 after 2 house balls on a game like this are definitely you're definitely somewhat limited.
There are definitely games that we have in the Papa collection that if you don't do anything on the first couple balls, you're done.
Yeah.
But I don't think Future Spa is one of them.
Okay.
Question from the chat room: what happens when you spell Future Spa and you have 36K already locked in?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. You actually sort of lose progress. You're going to have a lower bonus at the end of that.
Right. We saw Derek do that, as a matter of fact. He unspelled Future Spa entirely and had to start over again. So what you want to do is get 8 letters and then crank away without getting the 9th one.
Now he's actually doing a really nice set of tap passing and then a little flip up to kind of slow the ball down to actually pull it to a trap before shooting, which is a very, very nice.
Oh, look at that.
That was gorgeous.
Ray's playing this more like I would, which is tap, shoot the drops, let it bounce over, and tap again.
But he's actually doing a really great
Oh,
job.
man.
Great job of getting it to a stop, which sometimes you can't do
Look,
on the tap pass.
Wait, we got to stop this. We have to go check and see what illegal substance he just used to glue that ball to the flipper. Doug Polka, I think there's been some cheating going on in the pinball world. Did you see the glue that he applied there?
That was a textbook example of a perfect live catch.
We're going to be testing that flipper for weight substance.
That's right. Substance abuse.
Illegal super band usage.
Are we going to stay on Future Spot for a little bit, or do we want to show something else?
Let's move along. I mean, we got lots of other games.
Sure.
How about we check out some action from Batman Dark Knight?
All right.
That's a favorite in
great.
Pittsburgh. You know, a big portion of that film was shot here on location here in Pittsburgh.
Is that
Really?
so?
I didn't know that.
I thought it was mostly shot in Chicago.
No, like the scene with the Bane in the stadium.
That's that's the next one, not Batman Dark Knight.
Look, let me have my story.
So I actually can't see who's playing from here. Do we know?
Is that?
It's Batman.
I can't tell. I can't tell either.
I don't see it
Hold
from
on,
here.
I will pull it up on my phone.
All right. Whoever it is trying to increase their Batmobile hurry-up value.
Oh no, somebody's going for the billion.
Somebody's playing the bonus the Bowen strategy.
Explain the Bowen strategy to people.
So, shooting up the middle 3 times lights the Batmobile hurry-up. And shooting the right loop increases the Batmobile hurry-up. I forget what the exact amount is. That was a 1.5 million increase. But I think at some point it starts increasing by more than that, doesn't it?
Bowen actually told me earlier it's exponential.
It's exponential, so the next one should be 3 million then if this one was 1.5.
So I believe this is Johan Genberg.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a Swedish name to me. And I also believe that the higher it is, the faster it counts down, too, if
That's
I recall
correct.
correctly. So what you can do is you can essentially, theoretically, unlimitedly increase that hurry up to whatever you want to. And then if you've got the shot multiplied up the middle, of which there are several ways to do, I'm sure we'll get to that in a moment, you can essentially get 1 billion just by building that center ramp up to 500 mil and then having it doubled and getting a bill.
Right, and one of the ways to double is to hit the left loop, which locks in the target. You can't increase it anymore after that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then it gives you a full double on it.
Yeah.
But then it starts counting down pretty quick, so you want to shoot the
That's
center
right.
ramp at
You
that
would
point.
have to get up there pretty fast, and that's the thing about that strategy is that unless you can really live catch off of that loop shot really consistently, it's like a war of attrition because your bonus is counting down faster and faster while you're trying to get the ball back to shoot it to increase it again.
And the interesting thing about this strategy also, it's an all or nothing
Yep.
strategy.
Yep.
You see the score, 5 million, that's horrible.
Yeah.
You either get the big points or you're going home with nothing. But then again, nobody wants a 20 million point score on this game.
That's right. And in this format, where all of the games are individual rather than having to build a ticket, you can afford to go all or nothing on 3 or 4 games and try and put up the big game.
It's also not a bad way to just start out, start
Yeah.
ball 1, and then if it doesn't work, try something else, ball 2, ball 3.
It has another advantage in that 3 or possibly 4 of those right loops lights Batpod multi-ball.
4 of them.
4, and then that you can start that up the center, and then you can use, while you're doing that, you can use your Batpod multi-ball to work towards the other multi-balls. The Joker multi-ball in this game set on extra hard, so I think it's 2 hits to each target to get it down to lock balls. And then if you get the crane out, you can work on Scarecrow during it too.
Do you have to bring crane out before you start Batpod?
I believe you do. I believe that in all of the multi-balls, you have to bring the crane out first before you can work on the Scarecrow. So yes, this is 2 hits to that death target up the middle to even light locks. Usually it's 1 for the first multi-ball.
I mean, why would we make it any easier, though?
Oh, of course, of course.
It's the World Championships of Pinball. If you want to get there, you better earn it by shooting obnoxiously difficult, dangerous shots multiple times.
There's also the Commissioner Gordon target up there is leaning over a little bit, blocking that shot. Just a
blocking the
hair.
right loop?
Oh, actually, no, it's more blocking the oh my goodness, the Joker shot, just a little bit.
Oh, that target right there.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. I thought you were talking about this guy over here.
Oh no. And those out lanes love to gobble the ball.
Oh yeah. And then
there we go.
Is that no rubber on the outlane posts I see there too?
Absolutely.
I don't know if you see any outlane posts, but
brutal.
That's why there's no rubber.
I mean, this is typically a pretty long playing game, so obviously we want to keep things moving and not have people sitting there all day. But yeah, we have Eric Wagensonner on here now from San Francisco, and he did what I would usually do, which is just take the Batmobile hurry up, because it's one of the 3 things that you need to get to Bat Signal multi-ball. And to me, I'd rather just get to Bat Signal and crank on that than take the risk of trying to build my Batmobile hurry up to some obnoxious level.
And there you see there's no ball save at all, and those 3/4 ramps up the middle are just dead.
Yeah.
I had a 2 million point game of that earlier today. Oh, right. I wanted to talk about my records.
Oh, yeah.
So on Batman, I had a 2 million point game, which, looking at this, I don't feel that bad anymore.
Right.
But I got a massive score of 34 million points on Attack from Mars.
Damn.
34 million?
That is impressive.
Million.
With an M.
Were you going for super skill shots?
One of those was actually a regular skill shot.
Wow.
Which I think I tilted off before I got the bonus.
I see. Damn, that's pretty impressive. I think my, let me see here. I think I had a 4 or 5 million game of Sopranos earlier.
Oh boy, that's quality.
No. Oh yeah, that's quality. I had a 40 million game of Game of Thrones.
40 million.
Yeah.
Oh, that's doable.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I played Ripley's earlier and got less than $1 million because of 2 house balls from the auto plunger.
Oh yes, the auto plunger.
You don't have to feel bad. During the circuit finals, both Jim Belcito, who took second, and Josh Sharp, ranked in the top 20 in the world, didn't even get like 500,000. So it was amazing.
That auto plunger thing, so to explain, there are a couple of games in the tournament in the various banks that have had their manual plungers removed, and the games are set to automatically to use the auto plunger when you flip both flippers. And the reason for that is because both of those games, Sopranos in B Division and Ripley's in A Division, have exploits that particularly skilled players can take extreme advantage of for an incredible amount of game and play for a very long time without putting their ball at risk. But it really changes those games a lot. I mean, at least in Sopranos, the ball goes up to the pops, but in Ripley's, you get that auto plunger and it goes into those targets, and then who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, responding to a point I see in the chat room, somebody was saying, I heard the lock was rejecting a lot, and it is. So
on what, on Batman?
On Batman. So
yeah.
not only is it set on hard, sometimes
Ooh, he just jumped it into the lock.
Nice air ball. I think this is Daniele playing here now.
This is Brian Mendelson.
Brian
okay, okay.
Brian Mendelson is another local Pittsburgh player, and his claim to fame is that he got a perfect round in Pinburg against Keith Elwin.
Nice. Wow. That is impressive.
I'm sure he has many
this
other
year?
claim to fame. No, not this year.
But yeah, when these games are set up this hard, I would I sometimes, even a game like Ripley's or Sopranos that I'm really good at in general, like when they're set up that way, I had 3 sub 10 million games of Sopranos, and I was just like, I'm just not going to play this anymore. It's just not worth it, you know. I'm not gonna be able to get anything going. I'd rather stick to something else I have a better shot on.
Well, and it gets sort of disheartening because you're also here to play and have fun. And if the games are treating you that mean, you don't. It's less fun.
That's absolutely true too. I mean, you don't want to sit there and just get frustrated all day.
I mean, just keep in mind though that everybody else is having the same problems that you are.
That's true.
It's true.
So it's not. We're all in this painful gauntlet of torture devices that's been set up by the Papa staff together.
I mean, it's true. There's been people who put up 150 on that Sopranos. I couldn't do it, but
So we just had a rejection from that lock. He hit it twice and had it open and hit it a little hard, and it just popped right back to the flipper. But he was reacting just. There you go. There it is.
Another question from the chat room was, can we backhand the scoop on there? And I'm assuming you're talking about the Scarecrow scoop, and the
Right.
answer is absolutely.
Yep.
I've never seen a Batman where you couldn't do that.
Well, and with the oh, that was nice. With the lightning flippers, it is a little trickier, but it is
Right.
definitely doable.
I don't know if it. Do you think the lightning flippers make it trickier?
It's because it's closer to the tip of the flipper, and
Right.
I found it harder.
It's not quite as early.
Yeah.
I was wondering about the backhand of the Joker target personally, because I haven't seen a lot of people doing that, and typically that's the way I prefer to approach the Joker targets.
Well, some of that might be because of that one target that's sitting right in front of it that's leaning over a little.
Right,
And
right.
it kind of gets in your brain, so it might actually still be doable, but because that target's over there, you kind of feel like it's not possible.
Sure, and it might be a little more dangerous if you do miss.
Yeah. Looks like Bane, or who's the villain in Dark Knight?
Joker.
Okay. Looks like the Joker got another one.
Yep. What's our high score on Dark Knight right now?
I know the high score is Bowen
Bowen.
Cairns, 134 million.
I was just noticing as the high scores on the game were scrolling by that the Batmobile Hurry Up champion was Bowen, and it was 2.1 billion.
He
Is that legit?
Yep, it is. He got it up to the hurry up to around 500 million. He shot the left to double it, and then I believe awarded a.
Did he have the center ramp doubled then?
He got the mystery award off of that left orbit that doubled the next shot, and
right,
it went
right,
up the
right.
center and gave him that massive score.
Interesting.
So if you're wondering who just did that obnoxiously amazing outlane save, that was Jorgen Engelbrechtsen from Sweden. If
Incredible
you don't
player.
know his name, you should. He's
I would say that when we have the list of like the 2 or 3 greatest pinball players in the world right now, Tim, Elwin, Zach Sharp, then everybody else is chasing.
yeah. I mean, there's a couple others who commonly make the list, but
Yeah, sure,
he's
sure.
always on the list of the top players.
Absolutely.
Very, very accurate player.
Oh yeah. There's a video of him at Pinball Expo in Chicago 2 years ago playing Star Trek, and he absolutely takes it apart, and it was just unbelievable to watch. It's
The
a little,
longest game of Star Trek ever.
it's a little bit obnoxious because it does take like an hour, but it's really just from a pinball skill level, I was just transfixed the whole time.
I was transfixed too, but I was also
In the
tired.
So the ball, we just saw him lose the ball because of something he might have tried to save because of those short flippers. Right there.
Yep.
But then he's right back in and right into multi-ball.
Watch the.
Oh.
There's another one.
Oh.
Oh,
He's not happy about that.
I think he has a couple things to say to Batman right now.
So he's gonna let it sit
He's
for
like,
just
do
a
you
little
know
bit.
who you're messing with? Do you know who you're messing with?
Pretty big Swedish contingent this year, isn't there?
I'm not sure.
You know, Helena's here. I guess she's not really Swedish anymore, technically, since she's living in Colorado.
She just
how long does it take to lose your Swedish background? That's right, smart man.
Helena just actually won the Women's World Championship
That's
in
true.
Dallas.
That's right.
She played really, really well that whole whole day and managed to win.
She's an outstanding player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's here from that. Eric Stone, who won the national championship, is here as well. I heard him. He was in one of the pre-tournament, the Pinkymon tournament yesterday, and I know he made the finals. So.
Ah.
He actually also won the Pin Golf Masters as well, so he had a double whammy that weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. And I think going right into the finals, he was undefeated in nationals. He went 4-0 against everybody.
Yes.
That's right, and even Zach Sharp could only take one game away from him.
And we all know Zach just doesn't really have what it takes.
So
he's only
Zach,
got his name in the rafters, what, once?
Oh, he's about to have it twice because remember last night he actually won the circuit
Oh,
final
that's
as
right.
well,
Of course,
so.
you're correct. But he'll probably never get to see his name in the rafters for that, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're stepping up to Funhouse,
Ah.
and we have Tim Sexton playing.
Funhouse is probably one of my all-time favorite pinball machines. And,
Why is that?
It's just so much fun. I mean, part of it's just the choreography and the music, especially Chris Griner, who did the sound package for this. It's really excellent. But I love the multi-ball sequence. It's so much fun. The ramp to the shot, and then the big display for the $1 million plus. It's really, really cool. A lot of ways to attack it. There's the mirror, there's multi-ball. The scoring's pretty well balanced. If you really take apart the multi-ball, you get a lot out of it, but you deserve it. It's a really excellent game. Fantastic rules from Larry DeMar, one of the kings of pinball rule making.
Oh, absolutely.
And fantastic play field from Pat Lawler, and it's just really, really excellent.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like a lot of Pat Lawler's games. I think he's a really fantastic designer.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually have a new copy of the newest Pat Lawler game right now.
I can't wait to get my hands on that thing. I haven't played it yet.
You haven't played it yet?
No.
Oh, I think it's awesome.
I've been hearing that from everybody.
Yeah, I had a good time playing it.
And it's called Dialed In. So we have that here at the pop-up facility, and make sure you come on down and check it out.
Tim's all set up for multi-ball here. If he can shoot the ball in Rudy's mouth, we will be off to the races.
You were saying how you really like the game. I find Funhouse is one of those polarizing titles.
Yeah, a lot of people just think it's really boring. Mirror, 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 multi-ball, multi-ball, multi-ball.
Right, love it or hate it.
Right.
So you're gonna get a little. Usually, people are one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it for a long time because I just felt like I couldn't do anything on it. But as I've played it more, I've started to like it a little bit more.
There are a lot of really interesting setups on it if you get to know the game really well. Like the whole thing of getting steps set up, and then getting the super mirror, and then getting into the steps to get into the frenzy to restart your timer on the super frenzy and all of that kind of stuff. That if you're really playing at a high level, can really turn the game over.
Oh, for 1990, this game was just ahead of everything else.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I really like that the pop bumpers are timed. That's what moves you towards multi-ball. It really kind of makes pop bumpers worth something.
Yeah, especially if they're maxed out, which you get off of one of the mirror targets. They end up adding a ton of time, and they're actually really worth going for, even though they're somewhat dangerous.
So is this set up so that you can get the quick multi-ball right off? Is that?
I would assume so. I think that's a tournament mode thing in Funhouse, and I saw that Tim was playing his quick multi-ball when we first came in on ball 1, so I would assume that's what he did.
I haven't actually played this one yet today.
I find that success with Funhouse depends heavily on the kick out. How manageable that kick out on the right is a huge determinant in how manageable a Funhouse is.
And just a reminder, we're here at the Papa World Championships. This is Papa 20, right, Doug? I lose track of numbers. We've done a couple of them at this point. My name's John Repligo. I'm here with Doug, Greg, and Teresa, and we're calling some action on the first night of official qualifying. So there's 2 more nights of qualifying after this. This Thursday, we go until Saturday night with qualifying, and then the finals are on Sunday.
How are you hearing people talking about the format change this year?
Actually, I think I haven't heard any complaints about the format change now that we're here in the building.
Right.
The
of
only
course.
thing I've heard is people that are extremely happy with the new queuing system and the software
yes,
update
of course.
we did.
It's really excellent.
It's been really fun, nice to be able to wander around as you need to have games or just not have to sit cheek by jowl.
And the ability to buy tickets from the app without having to go wait in line is huge. It's such a huge time saver.
Boom, we're up in the 20th century.
For Papa 20.
So, gosh, the guy at the top of that list might be the same guy.
Wow, look at that gap between number 1 and number 2. 28 million gap, or 28,000 point gap between Bowen and Josh Henderson in those top 2 scores.
That's like a couple of switches, right?
Oh yeah, it's like get it in the pops once. Every point counts. Always be cashing.
Particularly since the difference between first and second place is 10 points on your score.
It's massive. I mean, when you lose first place, it can make or break your entire entry, and 10 points can drop you out of finals, and to do that, to lose that by 28,000 points is pretty nasty.
And it's interesting too because it is a best game format now as opposed to a ticket. Does that hurt more or less?
It would hurt me more, probably. I think it would hurt more, personally.
I'm gonna really miss the intensity of the ticket format. I feel like nothing. I feel like I don't have any. I don't know.
I'll be honest. I do think it's a better test of it's a better test of skill, depending on what you prioritize in skill. Because in order for the ticket format to work for you, you've got to be consistently above average at the very least.
Over a short amount of games.
Over 5 or 6 games, because one of the things that you would see in A lot of the times is that people who qualified and even qualified in good position wouldn't have necessarily a top 1, 2, or even 3 game, but they would have all top 10 games. Whereas you'll see people who will have 1 or 2 top 2 games, and then the rest of their ticket is garbage, and they're not anywhere near the top. And so doing consistently above average in that format is such a big deal, as opposed to here where it's like a garbage game doesn't hurt you at all. You just go in, you play again,
right,
and then you could blow it up. And that stress on consistency is the thing that really separated the people who did well in that format from everybody else.
Yeah, and I think that, like right now, there's 2 more full days of qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel any urgency when I step up to the machine. I'm like, I can blow this.
Right, exactly.
I don't even feel bad about getting 34 million on Attack from Mars. I didn't blow a whole ticket. Well, I did blow a whole ticket, but it was only 1 game.
But it's a $3 game.
That's true.
$5
game.
No, I mean, but who's counting?
Yeah.
But it's also a less of a time commitment, because if you play a 5-game ticket between waiting in lines for every one, for you to play or discard something meaningful, by the time Friday or Saturday rolls around, could be a 3 or 4 hour commitment. And
yep.
especially late on Saturdays, you would see people play 2 games, and if they were garbage, they would just toss their whole ticket and start over because of that.
Yeah, it's. I'm really interested to see how it plays out, because I think I don't know what we're going to see come Saturday night at 10 p.m. in the crunch time. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but
I will say
it will be exciting.
I will say I would expect to see higher scores in general on average throughout the week.
I would agree with that.
No, people are going risky.
Because people are playing risky, and they're playing to blow the games up. Yep.
Like, for example, if you're playing Funhouse right now, I would say the only thing these A players are going for is the main multi-ball.
Yeah.
Because that's the geometric, that's the one where you can really crank that score up.
Mm-hmm.
Multi-ball.
Somebody wants, they don't want to beat Bowen by 1 million points right now. They want to beat Bowen by 50 million points.
They want a score they know is going to stand the weekend.
Right.
Whereas if I was on a ticket, I would be, and especially if the kick out was consistent, I would be really tempted to just go mirror, get 10, 12, 15 mil in the bag, and then just, move on from there, because again, like an above average score is so much more important when you're on the tickets than blowing the game up is.
All right, so we have Sanjay stepping up to Funhouse now.
Sanjay did pretty well in circuit finals, didn't he?
I know he made it past round 1. I don't know if he made
I
it
thought
past
he,
round
I
2.
thought he made it into the ladder.
Did he make it into the ladder? I'm not sure.
I could be wrong.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Sanjay's an extremely talented player and a nice guy.
So
Nice guy, one of the only people around who's been playing as long as I have.
And since he's a nice guy, he will finish last because that's what they do. So, oh my goodness,
That
I'm
was
sorry,
brutal.
Sanjay. You see what I just did to him? I completely jinxed that.
Damn it, John.
So I have a question for you, Greg.
Yeah.
How do you relight the mirror?
You hit Rudy in the face.
Is that the only way to relight the mirror?
That is correct.
All right.
Unless this game is set to relight it at the beginning of every ball, which would greatly surprise me.
Actually, that's not entirely true. You can also get a temporary relight by rolling in
that's right. Yes,
the
you're correct.
right in-lane switch.
That's right, and it'll light the mirror on a timer. So if you crank it right in there, you can collect a mirror, but otherwise probably not.
So that's sort of like on Whirlwind.
That's exactly
All
the
right.
same thing. That's right.
Actually, I want to completely break away from what's happening just for a second
Okay.
to wish you the deepest of congratulations on air.
Thank you.
As many of our listeners may know, Greg met his now wife here at Pinburg
4 years ago. That's right.
4 years ago, and
We-
they just got married.
We were placed on the
congratulations.
same bank together. The year before, actually, we had played in a game together in the consolation tournament, but hadn't talked to each other on big game. And then the next year, we got placed into a bank together and started talking, and had our first kiss on the hill above Papa that night, and on the Sunday night all night thing, and when we heard the building was being sold, we hadn't been planning on coming, and we just bought tickets. We had to make one last trip here.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I hope that was okay to bring up.
That was fine.
Okay.
I figured somebody would eventually, so
Well, that was me.
that's great.
So
Anyways,
we're going back to Sanjay. He's having a bit of a hard time. He's on ball 3.
I'm wondering if there's something about, I haven't seen, we've seen a couple of multi-balls and people have had a really hard time getting a handle on it. This doesn't have lightning flippers on it, right?
It
No.
does not.
Okay.
But I'm wondering how, with the shot
Boom.
of the upper flipper, is a little off from where people are thinking it is.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people, because usually that shot into Rudy's mouth when multi-ball is lit is not that hard of a shot. You can nail it pretty good, but people do seem to be missing it a little late, so I wonder if that flipper alignment is a little different than people are used to.
well, Sanjay put up a score he's happy to forget about, which is the wonderful thing about this format. And here we're looking at the results, current results in A Division.
No shocker there. Those top three
Bowen, Kaylee,
names.
Zach,
Yep.
Josh.
So I think even with the new format, I think we're still going to see a lot of the same faces just because
Oh yeah,
they're such
absolutely,
good players.
absolutely.
And they can step up, and they have the same relaxed situation that everybody else does, and they're going to just wail on the games.
The cream rises to the top.
Absolutely.
I will say, I think we're going to see a lot of people taking advantage of things like spending a lot more time, for instance, on Metallica. If you've got the Crank It Up jackpot lit and you've got 30 mil, you may before have just taken it rather than taking the extra effort to light the 2X, right? Because, getting an extra 30 mil out of Crank It Up versus nothing when you can just step back up to the game again. I would be doing it all day too, focusing, if we were to see Game of Thrones, spending a lot more time focusing on multipliers and getting, cranking those
Thank
things
God
up.
we don't have to watch that.
Yeah. But we are going to watch some Baraaora, which I was very excited to see added into this lineup.
Yeah, isn't Baraaora a wonderful game?
It's such a great game. It's such a weird game.
I'm going to have to admit I don't know anything about how to play this game, so tell me about it.
Oh, you've come to the right place.
It's such a fun thing. So there are a lot of interesting little funky rules about this game. What you want to basically focus on is spelling Bara are bear and akora, which is all the drop targets. Spelling Baraaora will light one of the locks, and akora lights the other one. In some ways, spelling akora is a little bit better, as the back lock acts as kind of a ball saver.
Which is going on right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, so if you have a ball in the back lock and you lose your ball, you get that ball
You
back.
got that ball back.
Interesting.
The other lock doesn't do that.
I see.
Akora is harder to spell. There are more
There's an extra
drop
target,
targets.
yeah.
And definitely with how this one is set up, that last A is very difficult to hit.
The last one on the bottom or on the top?
On the bottom.
Okay.
And that's the other thing, you have to spell all of the drop targets in order.
Oh, so it's not like you can just flail away at them.
Exactly, you have
it's
to
actually
be
a lot of work. Yeah.
you have to be a little accurate on that. The other nice thing about spelling them is that it gives you your bonus multipliers. And the spelling one bank will give you the orange multipliers.
Mm-hmm.
Spelling the other bank during the same ball will give you the green one.
Okay.
If you keep spelling the same one over and over, you'll get I'll continue with the orange ones. And the orange do not stay. The green bonus multipliers stay ball to ball. So
Okay.
those are the ones you really want to get to.
And the green ones are from akora as well.
Well, it's whatever the opposite one that you've done.
Ah, right. Okay.
believe.
Right.
No, that's
No?
not true?
That's not true.
Okay.
You get the green ones for completing Baraaora on the same ball.
Right. Right, so the opposite of the one that you've done on that ball.
Right. Okay. Yes, I see exactly what you're saying.
And then getting bonus in this game is kind of interesting as well. One of the main ways to get it is actually from the spinner. And the spinner gets lit up by the letters as well. Then you also have, so you just went through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s. That's another important thing to keep in mind. And because one flipper does one set and the other flipper does the other. And you can't get the 4, 5, 6 unless you have a 1, 2, 3 lit. And in a lot of ways, the 4, 5, 6 is actually worth a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it advances the bonus or the value of the stand-up target up to in the upper right. That stays ball to ball as well. Or I believe maybe you have to relight that every ball. I'm not sure, but it does stay. Every time you collect it, it stays that value.
Mm-hmm.
The other 1, 2, 3 advances your scoop on the left.
A nice slap save there.
But that is a 1 collect and done.
Some pretty advanced rules for a game of its age.
There's a lot more than that, but that's just talking about the drop targets.
I know.
Right.
You know, like.
And this is from the 80s.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this seems like almost like probably what, like 85 maybe, 86, something like that.
81.
81,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is early.
So I have a really bad joke to share with you guys.
All right.
On Baraaora, when I'm playing, I always shoot the Akora, and I consider it much more important. You know why?
Why?
Because sometimes you get the bear, and sometimes it gets you.
You're banned.
And I've now muted John's
Can we
mic.
take John's mic away? Thank you.
Oh, I forgot about the other important thing. Up at the top, you light your. There's a bonus collect in game,
Oh.
which happens up at the top. So you see the flashing light orange up at the very top.
Uh-huh.
When that's lit, that is a bonus collect, and that's worth a lot. It does collect it down. You have to rebuild it back up.
Sure.
But it's worth a lot. That's where you're going to see a lot of the scores coming from.
So what's our top score on this game right now?
I can look that up.
2.8 million, I believe.
Wow.
That's going to be beat. By me. 2.5 million by Bowen. And once again, Bowen barely is beating Kaylee. Gosh, is this the third game we've looked at where Bowen was number 1 and Kaylee was number 2?
It's 2-5 to 2-4.
No, the last one was Bowen and Josh Henderson.
Oh. Sorry, Kaylee. Somebody turned Bowen loose on these machines. It's like...
It's pretty typical of Bowen to just, crank out his entire qualifying run on day one, though.
Do you think it's actually, with the new format, going to be harder to keep games sticking?
Yes, for sure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like, qualifying day one and having a game lasting through the whole weekend is going to be a lot different now, with people stepping up and being able to just play over and over versus having to do it on a whole ticket.
I would say yes, and the reason is this. I've actually seen people in A Division void the #1 score on a game because the rest of the ticket is junk and they don't want to set up a score that they have to beat later. And I know that's horrible and to think about, but you're not going to see anybody voiding a #1 now.
No, you're sure not.
So I think Damien Charlatis should be stepping up next.
And then Damien's big claim to fame is that he took, I believe, 2nd place, or he was definitely top 4 in one of the.
He was top 4 in the last Pinburg in the building.
So that was 3 years ago.
3 years ago, that's right.
About 3.5, I guess now.
I don't actually see.
Time flies.
Oh, actually, no. We're getting Coy.
Coy, yeah.
Coy Morris.
Coy Morris from New York. Coy has been a extremely long time attendee to the Papa tournaments. I know he says he was going to the Papa tournaments in the early 90s. So
I remember seeing Coy at my first Papa 5 in 1995.
This is only the 2nd time I've been here.
Really?
Yeah. The first time I was here was 5 years ago, and I had just barely started playing pinball and thought I could actually play pinball.
And now you're playing A.
And that was actually on my honeymoon.
now you're playing A and explaining the rules to Baraaora
That's right.
to the whole
That's
world.
right.
Look how far I've come.
Boom. Oh, Coy.
Power in lane.
And that's why you don't want to do any shatzing on this game.
That and other reasons, it would be very tough.
Plus, I'm not sure that shooting those in lanes is actually worth all that much.
Does it add bonus?
I think
Yes,
it does.
1,000. Not worth it.
Right.
And not when you can get the spinner lit for many, many more than that.
Right. Is there any kind of playfield multiplier type of thing going on in this game that you can really make that spinner blow up?
No.
Okay.
Um,
Like during multi-ball?
well, we didn't talk about the center target scoring values. Teresa, you want to go over those, or shall I get those?
Why don't you go for it?
Okay, so there's a triangle in the middle of the playfield, and it has 2 stand-up targets on it.
Okay.
And each one of those stand-up targets correspond with one of the 5 inserts below it. There are the orange-colored inserts, and they go up. The one side on the right is the multiplier value. The one side on the left is the base value. And it starts with just 1,000 times 1.
Okay.
And then you can get that up to times 25,000 times
10?
10. So that's
250K.
250. And then you can collect that twice by going through the horseshoe.
Oh.
Nothing to sneeze at.
No.
Now, does it stay lit? I believe there was something about them being on equal levels versus not.
Right. If you collect them at an unequal level, it automatically resets down to the lowest value. If you collect them at an equal level, you get to collect it twice, or you can move to a new equal level and collect it once or more and keep going up. But once you get to the top, you can collect it twice.
And then it resets.
And then it resets. Now, there are actually custom ROMs that have been made for Baraaora where during the multi-ball, if you have a 2-ball multi-ball, it's 2 times playfield. If you have 3-ball multi-ball, it's 3 times playfield. I think that's just great.
I was just about to ask about what the scoring was during multi-ball because I know a lot of games from that era have that scoring in it.
I'm not sure that it is any crazy
not right
scoring
now.
like that.
I would agree that is great.
Oh, this is such a great game. Little Chief?
Yep.
I had never played this before
It has the problem that a lot of EMs have, where once you max out the bonus, you're kind of in jail, which I'm not really a fan of. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty
No,
fun.
no. You can
What?
collect in game.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
You see that
Completely forgot
gate
about
over
that.
to the
Yep,
right-hand
you're right.
side?
No, I completely forgot about that. It's been a while since I played this game.
Now, how do you light that?
How do you light the gate?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I know how to light double bonus by AB. How do you light
Which
the
is
gate?
also how
Which is
you
also
light.
how you light the
Oh,
gate.
that's how you light the gate. I see. So once you've lit double bonus, you've also lit the gate.
Right, there's two ways to light the double bonus on this. First, you can do the AB and then get the center thing he's rolling through
Right.
right now. Or you can get it into that hole, which you just fell into right there. That was very illustrative. Thank you very much.
And so there's a collect, and then does it reset?
Yes.
Okay, good. And you've got to relight the gate and relight double bonus too.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
So it's a lot of work, but it's fun work.
This game was in Northwest Pinball Champs 3 or 4 years ago, and I remember in Classics, and I remember playing it a lot, but I've obviously forgotten more than I remembered about it since then.
This one I had a lot of luck using a little bit of a roll up on the left to pass it over to the right and then shoot up into that orbit up that left lane. Well, hopefully it'll continue doing that for the rest of the weekend.
Could you tap pass? I know on a lot of Williams from this era, you can get away with it.
I didn't actually try it. I wasn't feeling up to it at that point, but I might later.
During the circuit finals yesterday, I chose to Schatz a couple times on this.
Sure,
alley pass,
sure. Yep,
and,
makes a lot of sense.
The results
Didn't
were
work.
horrible.
Yeah, double bonus on these games is nothing to sneeze at, and then to get that gate open for a collect too.
All right, so I just got an update from Classics 1, and the winner, you're not going to believe it, is a guy who won last night.
Zach Sharp.
Oh,
Zach
wow.
Sharp. He is he's having a papa to remember here.
He is. Letting it go with style.
Who came in second?
Ed
Oh, Giardina.
Giardina, and
He's a Rhode Island player.
currently there is a playoff going on for third and fourth between Daniele Acciari and Carl D'Angelo.
Well, that's exciting.
Boy, neither of those players are anything even close to being a slouch. So that would be.
That'll be a great.
Yeah, it's a great
I wouldn't
matchup.
mind watching that.
Yeah.
But we don't have cameras over there. Sorry, folks.
There were some good games in the Classics lineup.
Oh,
for
Yeah,
Classics
yeah.
1.
I like that lineup.
I gotta say though, qualifying in Classics, best 4 games out of 16, brutal, absolutely brutal.
Yeah. But it kept the lines down, which were also insane. Anyway, there were
That's true.
lots and
That's
lots
true.
and lots of people.
Yeah.
I
But-
think it's the new queuing system has made life
Yeah.
still a lot more pleasurable.
Oh, definitely. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that feed from that scoop seems pretty manageable, which is nice.
Unless it doesn't settle, in which case it'll
Oh,
probably
right,
feed straight
sure.
down the middle of the
Yeah,
playfield,
yeah.
and you're done.
Now, what I don't know is up in that center scoop, there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What does that do?
Well, I noticed that it goes up every time you get in the scoop, but what it means, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully
Count.
you can find out.
Counting up until Little Chief gets you.
So he does have double bonus. You don't have to roll through the middle. Do you have to roll if you get A and B? Do you have to roll through the middle lane to get the double bonus, or just give you the double bonus?
You have to get the middle lane
I see.
to
Right.
light it if you don't have it.
I see. Right.
Otherwise, from the hole.
Right.
No, he wanted to get that to that left flipper so he could shoot that gate.
Yeah.
There's something so satisfying about the real countdowns, like
Yep.
in EMs and when you have good bonus countdowns.
This is Michael Trep from Europe. I'm trying to remember which country. I'm sorry, Michael. I'm having a hard time remembering.
Yeah, I've got a Grand Prix, and it's got a big bonus countdown like that when you drain. it just kind of goes on forever, and those reels just clacking away.
Supersonic has a really long bonus countdown too, but it's not quite as satisfying because it doesn't have those reels.
Yeah.
So he's actually got a bonus advance lit up in the upper right, and then the in lanes also add bonus.
And I see a rollover on the left too.
Yeah, shooting that left lane has 1,000 when lit, and then also the advanced bonus, and they're 2 of the 1,000. So it seems like a great shot to shoot for. That was great. I've actually seen a couple of times if you can get into the A, where it'll just sit and bounce up and down off that pop bumper, up and down, up and down.
Nice.
You get a nice little bonus from that.
So when you get the bonus up to 10K and you've got it doubled, you really want to focus on getting that advance at that point, because any other bonus you get after that is just going to be wasted.
Right, absolutely.
And there's that example that John was just talking about the ball not quite settling in the scoop and it going straight down the middle.
That's frustrating when you have that. When it's something you can't control at all and it's just, you're done. That's still a pretty good score though, I think.
Yeah, where does that fall on our standings?
Let me bring that up, hold on.
You can check out all the videos we have at papa.org. You can also get information about the standings for the tournament. You can get information about how to get here really quickly so you can join the World Championships.
So
it's open to everybody. Come on down and play.
So 77 looks like, in the grand scheme of things, is pretty low. I mean, I agree it's a pretty decent score, but in terms of the scores people have been putting up, I mean, we've got 14 people who have rolled it already. So
I hadn't seen that yet. That's great.
Well, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. From Doug, Greg, Teresa, and myself, John, we wish you happy flipping and a great evening. And remember, we're going to have more coverage throughout the rest of this weekend, and then full coverage of the final rounds of the finals on Sunday.
Sounds fantastic. Can't wait.
Thank you.